I told you guys. And they're roommates. Hi, YouTube. Welcome on in. Hey, by the time this reaches you, we might have done the first 3 episodes if all things go accordingly. It might be a 12-hour stream. It might be an 8-hour stream. I don't know, right? But what I do want to go ahead and start off by saying is, hi, welcome on in. My name is Ed. I'm a psychologist. I tend to go ahead and psychoanalyze video games, anime, and everything in between, right? In case you guys don't know, we did Arcane Season 1 on YouTube beforehand, and the analyses are deep. Like, they take hours. Please don't watch them all in one sitting. Take your time, pause, go on. There's a rewind and a fast forward button there for a reason. Same warning here. We will pause. We will stop. We will analyze a lot, as the majority of this function is not to try and go ahead and like watch the show for what the show is to try and bring psychoeducational components and content up to the forefront and discuss the characters in a meaningful way, right? So whenever we're talking about this, I want you guys to go ahead and consider that, right? It's not about predictions. It's not about, oh, they predicted what's that. None of that matters. It's all about the deep psychology of the characters and what's being presented and why that matters and why the psychology of understanding this is important. That's the number one thing there, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the Ed recap. Are you guys ready? Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready? Ed's recap of season 1. Now, excuse all the I'm not going to use any profanities, but excuse all of the mix-ups and everything in there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the recap of season 1 per my memories. All right, there was a great war, right, between the red cap, we chef. There was a great war between, and I don't remember the full names, Piltover, right? And then I guess what would be considered the slums. Forgot the name of the slums. Chat. What was the name of the slums? Real quick. Zon. Thank you. And Zon, right? There we go. The Undercity. Exactly. Here, I'll pull this up for you guys. I'll make this better. So automatically, right? The show already started off by giving us a big location of power dynamics, right? One on top, one under. There's already a lot of like messed up things happening, and even sociologically speaking, we're starting to find out that this is having like big ramifying effects overall, right? More of an uprising. Sure, absolutely. So automatically, the show starts off with the very amazing, and this is in season 1, showcase of the ecological and environmental disaster that is happening between this war from Piltover and the Undercity, right? And what that like discrimination, what that like aspects of war looks like, how muddy and horrible it can be. And from that comes over with one of our main characters, right? Well, we get to see Vi, right? And then Baby Powder, or Jinx as we know her now, walking through the streets of everyone essentially being dead, including, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one, her parents. Which is why we have a very, very dysfunctional which is why this starts off with the dysfunctional attachment automatically. Vi and Jinx were already introduced into a chaotic environment that is filled with trauma, right? That is filled with acute stress incidences that over a period of time will go ahead and affect their attachment styles into what they think is safe or not safe, right? From that comes in the story of Vander, right? If I remember correctly, adopting them. Vander adopts these kids, starts raising them, and they start being, well, kids will be kids, and they will do anything and everything to survive. From that little experiments of survival, they start messing around. They get caught up in the wrong things, right? One thing leads to another, and they're in serious trouble. Now we flip over to Piltover, right? Who's not. Isn't just safe on its own, right? They're having their own issues, and in their own issues, one of the biggest adventures that we have is discovering Hextech, right? So with Hextech, now you have a total survival instincts of like, what is trouble, what is not. The kids go and try and get this Hextech technology. It explodes. Everything starts going into chaos, right? As Soko takes over and essentially forms a really messed up attachment with Powder, who is soon to turn into Jinx. Now, from that, I know. This is my mind, guys. This is my mind. I haven't seen season 1 in a long time. I'm just recapping it for myself, and you guys fill in the blanks, please. Fill in the blanks, please, chat. Okay, so from that, right, we have a lot of characters introduced, a lot of amazing interpersonal dynamics that are being highlighted from season one as to like, hey, you know what, this is all the, the Undercity and what's happening in here. We also have Echo and like all like everything else that's happening. We have the goat, Hermadinger. we have everyone being introduced to different layers, but, and I'm going to highlight it through this. While we're watching the show, I want you guys to keep this in perspective. Correct. Hermadinger. Yeah, Hermadinger. When we're watching the show, I want you guys to keep this in mind. We're only watching it in a very mesoetic system level, maybe exo. We're not keeping the macro system at count at the moment. And that gets sort of brought in towards the later parts of the arc of season one. Right? Where other countries, other whatever starts coming into Piltover, and we start to see the effects that this is having at large. This is a question that I have. Will this be explored this season? Will this be explored in season 2, ladies and gentlemen? Especially as we start keep going into it, right? Will the themes of the macro political system at play start coming into fruition into season 2 as Piltover is experimenting with all of this hex tech technology? That is where my mind is going into from season 1 into season 2. And I hope that that is something that you guys are exploring as well. Anyway, can't look at the missing D in that picture. Oh, yeah. And to think, yeah, individual. And this is like in a textbook. That's the sad thing, right? Anyway, so what ends up happening is we start to see a lot of that like messed up attachment from Silco over to Jinx and that projection as to what can be family. And not necessarily in a healthy way, right? It's more of a toxic attachment that we can go ahead and layer on both sides, with both are anxious individuals trying to attach and find a place to call home. From that, though, of course, Vander gets dealt with. Some stuff happens to him. There's a lot of other situations happening in Piltover. Ultimately, Jinx is to blame for a majority of this. You have, I believe, Vi and Caitlyn starting to form a strong attachment and bonding over the issues that are being presented and the injustices from that. And everyone starts to come after Jinx. So, even Echo comes after Jinx, right? So what comes out of this, right? Jinx is being pushed back. It's Vi, not V. Okay, good. Jinx is being pushed back against a corner. And like any other person and any other individual, she has a limited amount of choices to do. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn, flop, or fornicate, right? The 6 Fs. So what does she do? She fights. And for me, that final missile that gets sent in is a clear indication that the Undercity is not going to go down without a fight, and that there is more action to come, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to see what comes out of it. I hope that that's a decent recap without, like, just a short little, like, my mind just compiled everything, all the episodes together into a short little sweet recap of, like, this is all the different components that are happening. Again, I haven't seen this in, like, over a year. So I hope that it's decent. I only saw it once. Hope it compiles it. Is that good? Would you guys, did I miss anything? Anything important? I throw it over to chat for that reason. I hope you guys are doing good. I know, congratulations. Well, good. If that caught most of what we were thinking about, then excellent, right? I think I watched all of your season 1 videos in 3. Dude, Ruby, you're incredible. You're absolutely incredible. I am beyond hyped. I am beyond happy to go ahead and jump into this and get started. I am a yap god. Chat will attest to this. That means that I talk way more than I should. I analyze every single bit, even if that means rewinding it for the 12,000th time, even if that means centering down to a 2-second frame and going back and forth, trying to piece together what significance that might mean. And I hope you guys are okay with that, because ultimately, I think that you guys don't deserve any less than that. I think that content that really touches on the layers of what is League of Legends and Arcane doesn't deserve anything less than someone that's actually invested in the show and what's happening in there. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I appreciate y'all coming on through. You guys are absolutely amazing. Let me go ahead and get this up with the overlay happening right there. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys do enjoy what you guys are watching, leave a like, comment, follow, subscribe, follow on Twitch, sub on Twitch. It helps out like developing our platform and what we do more. With that being said, yes, the voice recording is on. Coughme, thank you for the reminder. With that being said, let's jump into it, shall we? I don't know what else to say other than I'm not going to stall. Let's go. Wow. All right, hold on. No. Hold on. Hold on. No. That took 2 seconds. It took 1 second. No. In case you guys are wondering, and every single time that this happened, even though it's just the opening, right? Just the opening credits. We've talked about how this seems to be a little bit more, and I get it. It's the opening transition that they do for a show, for something that's happening in there. Yo, what's up, Toy Machine? But realistically, oftentimes it carries a lot of significance, such as the storyline that's going to play, how it's going to play, and why they even decide to use this as the opener is so interesting. Oh, yeah, the disc. Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, all right, let's straight into the OP. Is it loud enough for you guys? I hope it is. Okay, so it stays the same. So they survived. Good. 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 I'm glad that they survived on that one. But I do want to start off by touching on this real quick. This is a really quick and amazing metaphor, right? Into the season 1, episode 1 opening, where it was Piltover that was like this. So now things have turned over, right? And so what we're seeing here is a quick transformation into it. So right off the bat, whenever writing, and even in people's lives, we start to see similarities like this, right? Where it's like OP1, right? It was the Undercity, it was Han. And OP2, right? I say OP2, but it's this, right? Now it's Piltover. So now that we have Piltover opening up, and in a war scene, in an instance like this where they're covered in dirt, like dust, suit, the color is red behind them, they're holding on to one another, there's these attachments that are happening. It's now saying that this is poetry in motion. And that's the beautiful element of a show like this, right? Whenever we see something like this in an author or the team, which I can't give enough props to the team for doing this, they've already set up poetry in motion. So what this is signifying for me, and it's 2 parts in here, right? Number 1, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me on this. Are we about to see Piltover turn into the enemies? Started with violence, but on different... Exactly, Coughme. Exactly. That's the first thing that stands out to me from that. But that's what I'm saying is, are we about to see Piltover now be highlighted? Because in season 1, it's the Undercity. They're gross. They're disgusting. They're, wow, all they do is cause trouble. Are we about to see a switchover in that same regard, where if Piltover is starting off in the same stance where where the Undercity was in the first season, are we going to follow a similar trend and maybe dive deeper into madness? And even from that, and it comes in the real question: was Jinx really mad, or was it just society all along? Was Jinx truly mad or evil, or was it just society all along? Anyway. Told you guys it was going to be an interesting one. Oh, shit. How many people got taken out by this? This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing, right? And I know I'm stopping a lot, but it's great to see number one. I don't know how she made it out because wasn't she standing right at the window at the end of season one when the thing came and hit? I don't know how she made it out alive, but all right, I'll give it plot armor. Or there might be more to it, right? She might have that like magnetic field plot armor. She was the closest to the missile, but she made it out. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But also, death and destruction, Ed, amazing. What I'm saying is this is amazing because it's also the guards. It's also the people stumbling in the street. It's that same area that we're starting to go ahead and see from this, right? In that reflection of self. So, I'm going to go ahead and highlight. I'll throw it this way. Piltover has now experienced a similar traumatic event as Zon or the Undercity, right? Piltover has now experienced, especially the higher ups here, a similar traumatic event as the Undercity. Now that we have this trauma-induced event that is happening in there, where are they going to meet? Are they going to try and find some common ground? Or is this going to be an all-out war? And because of this, and I'll highlight it using this. Hold on. I told you guys, I'm a Yap King. How is this going to affect this? These are the Jungian archetypes that we seem to, the different masks that we wear out into society and to ourselves, right? We have a good aspect that we try and portray onto others, and the hidden aspect that we try and hide onto ourselves. Even as a society, we have good archetypes that we try and showcase to others, and the hidden ones that, like, very few people do try and get to know us for, right? But in an environment like this, do they have to keep up a mask around one another? Or, right, is everything going to be blamed on one or the other side? I.e., you have Vi, the hero, right? Caitlyn, the hero. Jace, the hero. All of these people, the hero. Jinx, the tyrant. Jinx, the villain. Jinx, the trickster. Jinx, and you see how Jinx keeps being placed in a shadow archetype set. And even for Jinx, right? Like, where would she position herself in all of this? But as we're looking at this, I want you guys to go ahead and consider this, right? Where is this going to go, and how many masks, how many different layers of mask are going to come falling off from the good archetypes to the shadow archetypes, where they're just not going to care enough to go ahead and keep up that mask? This is now an all-out war, so where is this going to go from here? Jinx the Destroyer. Right. Jinx the Destroyer, but she's also a creator. That's, man, color me fucking hyped. Color me hyped.
It's okay.
Oh. Oh, yeah, no. Oh. Isn't that, wait. Isn't that Caitlyn's mom? Isn't that Cupcake's mom? Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. So we see, okay, hold on. Subs might be a good idea. Oh, there's no subs? I don't see any subs in here at all. Yeah, I know. Speaking of parallels to season one, exactly. Speaking of parallels to season one, but in comes in the main question. Are you guys ready for this? Or the main aspect that we need to think about as we're seeing this. For Kate, what is this? For Kate, what would this entail? What would this be, ladies and gentlemen? For Kate, what would this be, ladies and gentlemen? Character development? An inciting incident. In fact, it can cause, it will definitely be seen as a trauma point, right? So whenever you go to like a psychologist, a displacement incident, a trauma incident, right? A turning point, 100%. Her background and safety, well, let's push that even further, and I'm glad you guys are bringing this up. Where's she going to be at? Where is she going to be at? If she comes through, right? And let's say that there was already issues and stuff that were happening and they're fighting for safety, right? They're fighting for safety and, you know, love and belonging because there's a couple things that might be happening. What is this going to happen? You can only keep this up for so long before that comes crashing down. I am terrified for Kate. I am terrified for all of these individuals because they're individuals in positions of power whose Maslow's hierarchy of need have crashed from thinking that they're self-actualizing and that they're in this area of esteem, crashing past the red and going down to the yellow, going down to a state of fight or flight. I am terrified. I am beyond terrified, and I hope that like a good writer, good, like, you know, if you're following good psychological writing, you would use this as a major turning point for the character. You would use this as she disagreed to her parents, but they were still pillars. Exactly. They were still pillars for her, right? Because at the end of the day, like him or hate him, right? If they're providing you household housing or anything like that, they're pillars in your life, right? So more than likely, this is cracking. This pyramid of needs is cracking hard, right? It's cracking past the blue, past the purple, past the maybe even green. Because I'm gonna throw this out there. How many of you guys think that that Kate and let's say Vi could have a healthy relationship? Not a romantic relationship, even that, but just a healthy friendship based on the events that just came from here. If Kate is unable to process this properly, I don't think so. I do not think so, because all of a sudden, what? Vi's sister, Jinx, caused this. Oof. Oof. Will it be the same for Jace? It can be. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think because Caitlyn argued with her mom so much more, it'll make the grief worse. 100%, Elia. 100%. Great point there, right? Because oftentimes when we're arguing with people, we can argue with people because, yeah, sometimes they have a different perspective, but we connect sometimes just through the arguing. So comes in and this is my genuine fear as a attachment specialist, right, in psychology. Let me go ahead and bring this up. I fear that this is going to take a deeper, more profound impact on Kate as she discovers this. And at first she might try to be tough, but at the same time, those are big roles and responsibilities to fill. In a society where you have nobility, right, and aspects like this being showcased, that is a lot of responsibility that is going to be thrown her way, and big shoes to fill. So this is what I fear. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. And I know we're going wild with it, man. We're going wild with it. Hold on. Where's it at? Here we go. This is relationship dissolution theories, right? These are the theories as to why relationships break down. Some of the most common reasons in situations like that, right? One of the most common aspects of this, whenever looking at this, you start looking at it, the society focuses on stagnation, right? They're like, stagnation is one of the greatest reasons why relationships dissolve, circumscribing different circumstances, so on and so forth. I really like Baxter's explanations of certain things like this, right? Onset of relationship issues, decisions to exit the relationship, the initial reaction, ambivalence, initiating bilateral dissolution actions and whatnot, right? It's a lead up. There's relationship issues that can be external as well as internal. And even Lee touches on this as well, right? Discovery, exposure, negotiation, resolution, transformation. There's a lot of external factors that come in and play a role. The loss of a family member, the loss of a loved one, the loss of even self, right, can be a huge aspect for a relationship dissolution. I don't know if the show's going to head that way, but if it does, oh my God, what is Kate going to turn into? And that's a real fucking question. What is Kate going to turn into, guys? Wow. Her immediately coming through and checking in on her in that regard. Wow. I didn't expect that from her, actually. Wow. Oh, Victor! Ah! If Victor dies, we're stopping stream. If Victor dies, we're stopping stream. It's a done game. It's a done game. You know what? We can't get rid of best boy, you know, just because of something like this, right? She was mother first. She was a mother first in that second. Yeah, no, absolutely, Zerim. But for me, doesn't this put Piltover, and I'm asking these questions because I'm thinking it out loud and I'm thinking about it even sociologically as well. Doesn't this put Piltover in a very weakened position where it can allow for an external force, including Mel's mom, to go in there and manipulate the situation? Doesn't that put Piltover in an extremely weakened state? For sure, yeah. Yeah, because all of a sudden it's like you're losing individuals. You've just been attacked. You need to show a show of force. You need to do so many things. And I like how for Jace, his first instinct was like, you know, after making sure that Mel is okay, he runs to our boy Victor, right? It's a power void. Yes. And in instances of conflict and trauma and all of this stuff, people try and fill that void and people try and manipulate their way by whatever means necessary. It was weakened even before the rocket. The rocket just yeah. Leadership was targeted, and survivors will be emotionally fragile. I can see that 100%. Ooh. Thank you, Never Ending Lives. Oh! What? No! I want Victor to come out of this wearing like Raiden was in like Metal Gear Solid Rising Revenge. It's a full on, you know, Hex Tech suit, just like with the Marachi sombrero, just. No, you can't. Okay, what's your recap on the core, Ole? If it isn't Saucy Victor, wow. Yeah. So there's threats beyond the walls, 100%. But I think Hex Tech is a double-edged sword, right? The introduction of a Hex Tech into the world in general, the memes, the DNA of the soul, is a double-edged sword. At the end of the day, Hex Tech, yes, it can be helpful to society, but it can also be an extreme detriment. And I think in an environment like this, what would Victor have wanted? That's sort of what's coming through my mind is, what would a Victor have wanted? If your friend that you were creating something with, right, was devastated and the only way to save him or to, you know, try and save him is to use Hextech, would you? Title, what's up? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're practicing that self-care. Hell yeah. If the only way to save your friend was to use Hextech, would you? Victor's totally chilling, right? Right? Victor wanted to destroy his core. Victor wanted to destroy the Hex core, right? But the only way to save him is to use him, or to try and save him is to use it. Would you? Mods, throw up a poll. Throw up a poll. I'm curious because I'm conflicted on it, right? If I could see me doing that, right? Victor had already come into terms with his death. He told Jace to destroy the core, right? But we're often, like, as individuals, as beings, we tend to be pretty selfish, right? In that sometimes we want to go ahead and cheat death or extend death or do so on. Like if Strawberry Vale was sick, right? And they were like, hey, you know what? Destroy this creation that we're working on, but it might be able to save them. I think I might be greedy. I think I might be greedy and try and save them, right? Regardless of them saying to destroy it. But that's just because it's a part of that human nature aspect of things, right? I wouldn't, but I honestly can't blame anyone for trying that. No, I said I would try to save them. Oh my God, thanks, Ed. Rip Barry. No, we're trying to save them, you know? And just like with everybody else, right? If you died from disease, no, but an attack, there's a different trauma to think of. Right, right. As human beings. Exactly. Interesting. I hope you guys don't mind if I take a moment just to take it in. Because for me, this is showcasing the power dynamics have shifted. And the power dynamics are shifting hard. If I was in the Undercity, if I was in Zon, I would be terrified. I would be beyond terrified. If I was in Zon, my heart would be racing because of the thought of what may come from this. Because I don't like, I expect him to go back to the era of how it was when Vander was there, or even worse, significantly worse, right? Where you have individuals like whatever councilman made it out of this alive, they're going to have hatred in their heart, and there's going to be no opportunity to try and go ahead and recompense this. In fact, I feel as though their mentality is going to be into more, how can we get even without seeing the full threats that this might be a way that other people can get into this country, into Piltover, into whatever, without fully being recognized due to the exterior threats that are being presented. Sorry, that's my mind working overtime. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shall we go into the intro? Fuck. We're 20 something minutes in. 23 minutes in, and we just hit the opening. Let's go. I will watch the. I can't. Oh my God. Okay, how about this? How about this, chat? We'll watch. I don't know. Well, we won't. We can't watch the opening in its entirety. Fuck it. We're doing it. We're doing it. Apologies for that one. Apologies for that cursing. We're doing it. Let me bring it up. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look a little bit into the color psychology first as we dive in and we break down the scene, right? Almost immediately, there is some colors coming through, right? Where would we classify this? I know. I was going to say, let's watch the entire opening first, but I don't want to run into like immediate issues of like copyright or anything like that, right? So we're going to go ahead and do color psychology. Color psychology is an international aspect of things where people classify emotions based on colors, and this has been done through various aspects of things, right? Various countries, various moments like this. At least in the Western world, these are the colors that we tend to go ahead and associate with certain things, right? So, what's the first colors that we see, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm going to go ahead and back it up, and I want you guys to pay attention to just the color. What colors do we see seeing something like this? And colors are very purposeful. Red, pink, right? Red, pink. Let down. Okay, you guys ready for this? Let's see if this applies to any of that. Also, Mike, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Angry, let down, humiliated, bitter, mad, aggressive, frustrated, distant, critical, numb, skeptical, dismissive, withdrawn, annoyed, infuriated, hostile, provoked, jealous, furious, violated, indignant, ridiculed, disrespected, resentful, or betrayed. Or we can even jump into like the aspect of it being startled, confused, perplexed, dismayed, disillusioned, astonished. Yeah. Colors are used in a way to go ahead and showcase where's the character at, where is this going through, and what journey are they going to go into throughout the series, right? So this wheel is mostly negative. Only yellow is good. A lot of it's because a lot of color is used to showcase something like that. So, due to Imagine Dragons, I believe, hit copyright more often. Sure. For this opening, we might do it without the sound, just for safety. Are you guys okay with that? Hope you guys are okay with that. We'll just be looking at I don't know how to put it, at the imagery being presented and the colors and stuff like that. It's the same song as season 1. It's okay. Just for safety on here. It's visuals. I'm always okay with not hearing Imagine. And I love, here's something that I love. Hold on. And I know we're pausing, we're stopping, we're watching. This is the part that makes it all beautiful. The film glitter crashed from that, right? I really love the aspect of the film just being, it's the same effects that were happening in the first OP. So Jinx is clearly playing a role. That pink, the little white that is in there, that's interesting. It makes me wonder if the only thing that V can, or Vi, right, for violent, Vi can be certain of is herself, her emotions. I wonder if the rest of the world, like, she's kept in the dark on what's happening, and she's filled with all of these aspects of humiliation, being let down, anger, whatnot. But the only thing that is kept in light might be a little bit of her eye and her tattoo, which has her name, while the rest of her is completely pitched in darkness. That's interesting imagery. And I want you guys to think about it the way, like, if a client were to tell you this, if a person was sitting right in front of you and they were describing this moment to you, what would come out for you? For me, if this was what was being said, I'd be okay. So why, if you're highlighting through that, you can only see through a little slimmer of light, radiating through. Why is your mouth pink as well? Why'd you describe your mouth having pink or red as well? Are you having to do things that you regret that you're humiliated of? That you might be despondent of, but you still have to go ahead and do. Maybe it's an action driven by anger and other emotions, but you're not necessarily happy or convinced that that's the truth or that you're certain of it, because the only thing that you're certain of are things that you can definitely see and who you are at that point in time. That's sort of what And then this opening here reflects imagery from opening one of season 1, where I believe it was Jinx or Powder that was being carved out, right? V smudged her name there, her identity, right? Where Jinx or Powder was being carved out of the stone, if you guys remember that. I hope you guys do, because for me, it's like all of a sudden there were kids, yes, but all of a sudden they're no longer tied in together. There's that rift that's happening, right? And Jinx is in the shadows now. There's so much duality that is happening in through this, which is amazing to go out and see. It's interesting to see that in season 1 they were in stone, but now they're alive, right? But through this, it's interesting to note that while Vi stays sitting down, Jinx comes towards light. There's that blue light in her eyes, and she's standing up. Jinx rising, giving her that power dynamics, right? Jinx in control, Jinx having power, maybe unwanted power, as noted through this. Hold on. Do you guys think that Jinx is lonely, vulnerable, guilty, hurt, abandoned, isolated, victimized, fragile, grieved, powerless, ashamed, remorseful, empty, maybe feeling disappointed and embarrassed as well? Absolutely. Oh my God. Look at the color that's coming into her eyes. Thunder, welcome on in. The color radiating into her eyes, right? The light that we get to see is that, right? She was lonely before Silco died too. There's that yellowish tint in the background, right? Here, and if we look at it, it's more of an orange tint, right? That orange tint of, we could call that society. Fearful, threatened, insecure, anxious, scared, overwhelmed, excluded, like persecuted, nervous, exposed. That's what that orange represents in there, right? But when we're looking at the light that's shining on her, right? What is the her that's really coming through? It's this aspect of sadness and this aspect of mixed emotions. She was lonely before Silco died too, in my opinion. But that vulnerability is key, bro. I really do think Jinx is one of the most vulnerable characters out there. I think that Jinx is in an extreme state where she's trying to connect with people in some way, shape, or form, right? And granted, she does have, there's multiple personality aspects that were happening and stuff, right? Powder and Jinx do have attachment issues. They do. They're trying to find something that they can feel secure in, right? Someone that they can feel secure in. But every single time that they try to feel secure, their environment has betrayed them. Society has betrayed them. Their loved ones have betrayed them. So who can they trust? They feel vulnerable. They feel scared. They feel tired. They're probably like full of mixed emotions. Oh, it's not like Jinx is innocent, but it's a product of society. Like instances like this are a product of society coming through, right? Boom. And I like how when she shoots, hold on. She comes out, right? Boom, she shoots. She doesn't look too happy, but Vi is gone. Vi is gone. The moment that she takes action like this, yes, she's rising in power. She's doing all of these things, right? In the moment that like she makes her finger guns and boom, it all goes off. It's just her being lonely, filled in this sea of colors where the limelight is on her. She seems to be barefoot and that shadow is extending, right? As though the shadow of what and who she truly is overpowers her that's in the light. The shadow as to the myth as to who Jinx is overpowers the little scared girl that is actually in there. The girl that is standing at the moment in light, but if you look past that, the shadows are quite overwhelming. And the framing of this shot is beautiful in of itself. Where is Vi? Is she centered? Or where is Jinx? Is she centered? No. She's not. She's not centered in the frame. In fact, even her standing is kind of askew. The light coming down is askew, right? She's not centered. She's towards the right, towards the heavier part of the frame. We're trying to do all three today, FCon. We're trying to do all three today, but I don't know if we're going to get to all three. Well, we'll try to do all three today because I know they just came out. So, possibly just the OP. So, my question still relies in there, right? Seeing how heavy that they're putting the importance on her and on her being lonely, can she connect with others? My God. Oh, and on the flip opposite side, we have Echo going up. Hold on. They don't have to. The way that they use the light in here in order to quickly create a whole landscape is beautiful. She's either going to attach or disconnect. One or the other, Strawberry Veil, 100%. She's either going to try to connect with other people almost immediately or try to disconnect, right? So, on the other side, we have Echo. And it's a battle uphill while he's looking down, right? There's still the shadows of self there that we can go ahead and talk about. But we can also talk about the weight of him trying to take whatever action's going up. That's awesome. We've been talking about mask, right? We were talking about the Jungian concept of masking. And we were talking about mask way back in season 1. This is one of those things. We all wear masks. Do not get me wrong. We all wear masks. Sometimes you wear the mask of an entertainer, of a loved one, of whatever, right? Sometimes we wear a mask of a student, the different roles, right? And it's not code switching. It's quite literally just the aspect of like, sometimes we wear masks that are so thick and so heavy that we have to wear them. Otherwise, society would not completely understand who we are. I wonder who this... Is that Victor? Wait. Is that Victor saying that he had to go ahead and put on this mask? God, dude, the imagery in this is so wild. One of Echo's shadows is moving like a clock. Yeah. the imagery that's being highlighted from this is wild. For me, it kind of looks like Victor is like, I don't know, like in an angelic room or like in a different point in time or space. Like it looks completely disconnected from everything else that we're seeing so far, especially with the blue tilt. And it kind of makes me wonder, right? Is this due? And again, right? Is this due to? I guess I don't know how to put it. Like them being in a different environment. So that conversation though. Where is this from? Because for Victor to be this lonely, right? Not seem to have clothes, right? But just picking up the mask, and the mask, aside from the robe, being the only things presented. Is he looking at a fraction of himself that used to be there? He's looking at the mask, but the mask that one wears, because one wears that mask, right? He's holding on to it with his agents of change. So is he seeking for a way to go ahead and change, or is he going to become something completely different, right? OP1 and 2 at the same time? Oh no, we'd be here for days if I did that. We would be here for days. That's interesting. Honestly, boss ass queen. My God. What a queen. That power structure, that power move, right? The red, right? The red that they're wearing from it. The white couch laying down here. It really does feel like something came out of a painting, right? But also, what is up with these? They don't seem to even have any color. If they're roses, what's up with these black roses? Like, they don't have any color whatsoever. The petals are all broken down. I get the cool imagery that's being presented in here, but at the same time, she's in complete shadow. She's in complete shadow and looking at what seems to be a black rose, right? How much of her shadow self is going to be presented during this stream, during this show? Like, what is the significance of her staring into, like, first off, the darkness that's completely heavy on the other side of the screen here, but also of her holding onto this black rose while herself is being developed into darkness? That's a genuine question. There's got to be more meaning towards this, and I'm kind of curious if it's something to do with like the rotting of hope, the rotting of core, of maybe even fear of what's to come. I don't know. Okay. Cupcake. Oh no. Ooh. Ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Her walking out here, right? The way that they frame this is beautiful. First off, do not get me wrong. This is beautifully framed, right? Because it's a switch in what we're used to. We've had Jinx on the right-hand side. We've had Umbressa on the right-hand side. And now we're getting Kate and Echo and a lot of other individuals coming on the left-hand side. That's interesting. Everyone is in very loose clothing except for Kate. Right. But also, hold on. Boom. Right. Comes through. What side do you lie in? Jinx was in the right. Echo's on the left. There's that clock and tick that's happening. Victor's on the left. Umbressa's in the right. Right? So like she's in the right. Again, that power position that's sort of happening. Where is the heavier aspect of a film, of any, like, you know, any frame? It's on the right hand side usually, right? It's usually dipped on the lower side. So how much importance or how much of a role is she going to go? Oh, someone's comment got deleted. How much of an importance is her role going to play in the entire aspects of things? Like, how much of a role is Jinx and her going to play in the story going forward in terms of antagonist. And yet she's surrounded by what seems to be a curtain, right? I love the color palette here for Kate too. Stone Cold. Yes, Strawberryville. It's so cold. Like there's like no warmth coming out of it. And that's sort of what it's making me wonder. Is Kate going to turn into a cold individual? Is Kate going to turn or lose aspects of her humanity or hide them behind a veil like this, right? Because this is just dark and she's coming out of it with this turtleneck, right? There's like little to no color in her. It's all theatrical. In a big aspect, I'm sort of wondering if society's going to push her into a role where she has to go ahead and try and fill and like kill off the warm and the curious aspects of Kate that we've seen previously. It's a heavy burden for her. No, yeah, absolutely. Especially as we're looking at the left-hand side. Is this going to cause Kate to become, I hate to put it this way, that which she didn't want to be? Is Kate going to become cold? Is Kate going to become, oof, oof, oof. Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. They really outdone themselves. The Misery. Not angry, but cold. Could be both. There's that cold type of anger. Even for Jace, right? He's being blinded by the light. We can even talk about his own creation. But where is he? He's more in the center. He's more in the center. For your information, Arcane is based off the game League of Legends. What? Ban this guy instant. I'm kidding. Compared towards everybody else, right? Where Umbressa, Jinx was in the right-hand side, Kate, Echo, and even Victor was on the left-hand side. Jace is right in the middle. Your Honor, I'd like to present League of Legends as what is League of Legends. So Jace being right in the middle, showcasing that he's probably undecided as to where to go. Maybe he leans more towards one side or the other, or like, hey, actions need to happen, but just completely being blinded, maybe by the root of his own creation, maybe by the stardom that's being centered around that, or maybe even by the pressure that's going to come through with it, right? And then a black petal, how much is a black rose? This black rose in particular. It's not that, oh, Vim, I got that. Evangelion's not that deep. And I've been told Arcane is not that deep beforehand. I think season 1 of Arcane proved that it was extremely deep. Probably one of the deepest, like, avenues and or shows that we've touched on in quite a while, right? But look at the way that she's using her agents of change, right? Her hands, right? As they glitter with the light hitting this black rose. What is black rose? Or rather well said, yeah, what is a black rose? As we're starting to look at this, right, the symbolism of someone holding onto it like this, glimmering what seems to be emotion towards it, showcases that it's more than just a flower. It's a plant. No, I'm kidding. It showcases, right, that it's that there's probably more symbolism to it, right? And especially the way that it glistens. For me, that this glistens unlike any flower or any rose that I've seen. Mau taught me that you can put some ink in water. Black rose is an eminence in the shadow. For me, the way it glistens reminds me sort of glass. I've never seen a rose glisten like that before. But I've seen glass glisten like that. This is probably deeper symbolism than I'm aware of, but I'm pretty sure it has something to do with like, this rose can cut you. This rose will hurt you. This rose is evil, dark, colors, whatnot. It's an emo flower, sure. Mel being in the middle again. And then everyone trying to go ahead and sway her. Wow. Wow. That seems suffocating. That absolutely seems suffocating to be in her position. Imagine if everyone from all sides was trying to get at you to have their opinion or represent them or do whatever. Wouldn't you feel absolutely suffocated in an environment like that? I know I would. I know I probably would have stopped a long time ago, right? Oof. Oof. Wow. That aspect is just. And then in she comes. I think it's a good thing we're not doing the song at the moment. I'll be very honest with you. And then looking at Jinx, looking at Jinx's colors palette here, right? Looks very different than the Jinx we saw at the beginning, right? I'm gonna ask a question. Are these a different representation of Jinxes that like either society or other people see her as? Maybe one as a villain, one as a whore, one as a freak show, one as a revolutionary, right? Her waving this flag sort of reminds me of Les Mis. A Jinx with that flag is such a powerful, yeah, the voices. Yeah, reminds me of Les Mis. Jinx leading a revolution in by herself, right? And holding up the flag. That's huge, man. That's a huge flag that she's holding up. Maybe it's her imitators. But also, I guess comes in the real question, right? If Powder was here, and I'm going to throw this question out there. If Powder were to meet where Jinx is at today, would Powder help Jinx? Would Powder be there for Jinx? Would Powder care about where Jinx is? Or be like, genuinely connect with her in that level? Or would Powder try and go ahead and get away from her? Would Powder be like, you're not the Jinx that I know, or you're not whatever, right? Or even that same aspect with Vi, right? Like, let's put that into perspective. I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the different phases that Jinx has. And it's like, if Vi were to go ahead and meet a young version or baby Powder, right? What would she do differently? There's so many questions that are coming into mind in terms as to like the impact, the psychological impact that this has had on Jinx, right? All the turmoils, the aspect of her trying to find herself, her accidentally or leading a revolution and by doing all of the actions that she's doing. Wait, who's that? Wait. I know. Shadows is a big play in this, right? I like how on one side you do have the colors, right? You have the blue, and it's like her realizing the role that she's playing, and she's very centered in the role that she's playing. When the other side highlighted by that red, orange, ruby like color coming through. My God. The Paragon Renegade color scheme, right? But also this very natural color scheme that's come through, right? The shadows also remind me of dissociative identity disorder. Good catch, really, really good catch. I would agree with you on that, right? The different personalities that might come through from her disassociation, because at some point, Powder has to come through, right? Jinx can't always be in the center in the limelight, just as much as Powder can't always be in the limelight as well. But also, this V coming through, guys, in the lights itself, and again, highlighting her eyes. Oh, okay, hold on. Man, I love openings. I love openings so much. Feel like you could do a scene by scene analysis in here, So let's look at this, right? They're both in shadow. I have a feeling this is going to end badly. This is going to end absolutely horribly, right? We've already seen in the opening that Kate is being shrouded. By the way, case you guys are wondering, it just came out, right? Kate is shrouded in that, like, cold blue color, right? That's and Arcane and badly. No, this relationship, right? Friendship that they have going on, it's probably gonna end hard. Like, realistically speaking, Kate looks rough. Kate looks cold. Kate looks as though she's a completely different person. And in a situation like this, where on one hand, it doesn't seem like Vi has any clothes on, so maybe she's being vulnerable. But Kate has that turtleneck, right? It's like she's Corporal Kate, and she's just about to be absolutely cold, and break that down. It's a shame that they won't let you go frame by frame. I wish they would. But through that brings in my question, right? Is this gonna be a relationship dissolution? Is this gonna be like a gut punch of a relationship dissolution that's gonna end because they're not meeting each other eye to eye? They're not meeting each other in the light. They're not both being vulnerable. They're now being changed individuals. Friendship. Exactly, Ruby. Friendship. Oh no. Oh no. Identity, speaking as a DID system. 100% Strawberry. Not all identities and not all hosts, right, have to be close with one another. And absolutely true. Like, that's why it's dissociative identity disorder. And sometimes identities and different alters can appear based on trauma, based on whatever's happening. Some of the most common forms of this, and Strawberry, if I'm wrong, you can feel free to correct me on this. I've had a lot of clients that have had DID. Unfortunately, DID is underreported and underdiagnosed, right? Because oftentimes a lot of therapists and a lot of psychologists are afraid of going with the full diagnosis because of the implications that it can have. So they'll often just say it's an identity disorder, you're going through changes, it's hormones. It's been some of the most horrible things that I've heard. It's anxiety, it's anxiety mixed with depression and comorbidity. And I didn't get caught until 2 years ago. 100%. And the thing with that, though, is with DID and identity disorders is you're not just going to come up one day and be like, I know I have 3 personalities, 3 identities. No. Like, stuff can come through because your brain found ways to compartmentalize different aspects of your life to come up with different personalities, different personas to come through and help you out in that, right? It's very, very interesting. It's a field that is still very evolving, and I actually encourage a lot of therapists and a lot of psychologists and professionals in the field to venture further and do more studies as to what we can do to go ahead and help individuals. It's just very, very interesting. Anyway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute! Whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute! Whoa! 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 Wait a minute! 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 Going in for the hug and then just pushes her away. Is the idea always getting you when sub 6 becomes that cut to the weight screen? Dude, that terrified me. Whoa! Whoa! I know. So then it is a dissolution. They are bound to go ahead and break up, I guess. Just a hug. I saw more than that. Just wishful thinking. I've seen multiple and heard multiple times the DID and multiple personality to completely different disorders. Please explain this thing. Explain this. So dissociative identity disorder, DID and MPD. Dissociative identity disorder is more of the disassociation into the disorder, while multiple personality disorders, unfortunately, is just a quick switch into that personality based on the emotions, moods, so on and so forth. A lot of individuals claim them the same, and I do have, hold on, my wonderful DSM-5 TR right here. I have one in my home office. I have one in my real office. I have one pretty much everywhere I go where we can go into it, but it would take a hot minute to bring everything out. But that's the main thing is, my God. So then it is, right? I think it's technically just renamed DSM-5. In the DSM-5 TR, it just renamed everything into DID because there's disassociation that has to happen in some regards. So the main element that I'm trying to go ahead and highlight through this though is that rejection. That rejection. This rejection that is happening here. That's terrifying. What would that do to someone like Vi? What would that do to you if you were to go in for a hug or you were to go in to try and find an embrace and all of a sudden there's a rejection happening? Wow. I don't know if it's going to happen this season, but it's going to happen at some point. I know, because these colors are supposed to showcase that they're really close with one another and whatnot. But it looks like Kate pushes her away. It looks like Kate is the one that goes ahead and pushes her away. It looks like Kate is the individual that is going to go ahead and cause this relationship solution to happen. Will there be maybe time to try and fix it up in the future? Probably. But as of this moment, it really does look more like Kate is not okay with whatever situation's got happening here. Did Vi ever experience such rejection? Right. Ooh. There's so much in this opening. My God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hold on. Look at her. Look at her, guys. And then just filled with that solid blue. Oh, my heart breaks. My heart absolutely breaks in this scenario. That paint kind of looks like Jinx's paint, right? But it's the aspect of loneliness, of guilt, of everything that starts to come through, right? Wow. And even from that, why does that look like a weird shaped head of crowns? Like, oh, Echo. Oh, reject it. Don't become like your mother. Oh, Victor, don't put on the mask. Don't put on the mask. Walk away. Don't put on the mask. What losing your mom does to a person who knows the oof. And of course, Jace, all of them going through and trying to find what that might mean, right? Whatever the future might hold. Beautiful opening. My God, I really wish we could hear the song at this moment, but maybe next time, right? Absolutely powerful opening. It has a lot of like hidden symbolism and just the power dynamics that are being showcased. Who's standing up for a majority of these scenes? How is stuff like working in that regard? And it always seems to be as though Jace is right in the middle for it, right? Right in the middle for what's happening, as though he's trying to go in and understand the truth. Meanwhile, Victor doesn't want to put on the mask, but he might have to go ahead and put on this mask that like he maybe dislikes wearing, right, in order to try and have something. On the other hand, we have Umbressa and even Mel, right? Mel rejecting to not become like her mother, and yet her mother being like in a position of power, laying down, looking at this black rose thing, not knowing what to do. You have Kate and Vi's relationship, which is clearly at tug of war with one another, and something's bound to go and happen from that. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, powerful stuff. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, should I go back and start it from the very beginning of the OP, go all the way through and see if anything else sticks out? No, like minimal stopping to no stopping. If I nailed anything, it's not because it's a prediction or anything like that. It's the deep-rooted aspects, the symbolism that they put in here. Let me go back it up. Yes. It's a deep-rooted symbolism that they've placed in this show, which is kind of amazing, right? I always love stuff like this when they manage to go ahead and put stuff, symbolism in a show to showcase that there's a lot to go ahead and go through. All right, let's go. So she smudges her name. So she smudges her name in the light. So she's not even sure as to where she is or who she stands for. That is scary. That is absolutely scary. When a person starts to go ahead and start doubting their identity, I know, minimal stopping, and I stopped, right? And we are still in the intro. You're welcome. Hi. So her smudging her name like that, right? Her smudging her name like this, for me, it's highlighting that she probably doesn't even know where she stands. Even past that, I'm kind of scared because if she's going through losing her sister, not knowing where she is, probably having relationship issues, there's war happening. What are those signs of, guys? Chat? Well, like if your friend told you, hey, you know what? I cut off all contact with my brother. I'm no longer talking to him. I'm having relationship issues. I don't even truly know who I am anymore. Hey, I like everyone's suffering at the moment. Buttery Fiend, welcome on in. What would that raise for you? That raises alarms for me. That would raise a lot of alarms for me, that we would need to be careful with them, right? That number one, we wouldn't want Vi to, like, for example, I'm gonna be very honest with some clients and individuals. If they're to highlight this, I would ask who their support network is and if they have a support network to lean on, because it's very common traits for an individual that starts spiraling and may end up using substances. That's just very honest, right? Yeah, that's just very, very honest because propinquity level wise, right? If if you were stabilizing yourself up by putting Kate up in a pedestal, and then you get rejected from that pedestal or from that aspect of feeling togetherness or whatnot, and you end up crashing, that's a spiral. She's probably freaking out 100%. Grief is rough, and she's got to go through that process of grief. Wow. Is there okay? I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna ask for the sauce of this even on YouTube. If y'all know any Jinx cosplayers, let me know. I think that Jinx is an absolutely beautiful character. I'm just saying, there are a few. Are there? Oh hell yeah! I think pulling off characters and cosplaying characters like this is amazing, right? There are quite a few. Yeah, yeah. Her character design is so cool. It really is. It really, really is. Of course, Echo's moving through it. His putting on the mask. Okay, that's something I didn't notice beforehand. Her eyes tell us a story. A few puff puddings, a few. Her eyes tell us a story, right? They tell us a story of someone that might be a little indignant, right? Somebody that might not necessarily want to do this, but they have to do this. Like, look at the way her eyes tremble, right? Look at the way her eyes tremble, and then she gains that like confidence to go through with it. It's as though like she has to. She's looking down, she stops, and then she cements herself. Yo, Hinak, yo, welcome on in. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in, welcome on in. I hope you're practicing that self-care. Welcome on through. How you doing, Hina? That moment of soft resolution, that moment of interpersonal reflection, right? Of introspection is huge. From her taking that breath to just numbing it out and having to go through with it. Whew. How many of you guys, I'm going to ask this, how many of you guys go through this every day when you have to go to work? When you have to do something that you're not happy or proud of, you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a deep breath. We're going to get through the day today. I feel like a majority of people, unfortunately, are in areas or jobs or stuff that they're not really, happy to be in, but they're doing it because at the end of the day, you have to. And sometimes you have to step up and take on responsibilities that you're not really comfortable doing. Look at that. From being the introspection to like lifting up her head and then being there. Wow. Jace being blinded, of course. You have the pedal coming into light here. Mel with everyone trying to influence and get a hold of her. Of course, Jinx. Oh, this is beautiful storytelling. That rejection. Her going into loneliness. Of course, Echo. Wow. Wow. Wow, this intro is just very stunning and very foretelling, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think that pretty much covers that Arcane opening. Of course, we're going to do our opening analysis more and more times. But overall, what I do want to highlight is it's such a beautiful opening. Do a flip, Echo. Do a flip for now. My main regard, though, is this is showcasing a beautiful story. And if I hit anything right on the nose or anything correct, don't think it's because of me. It's because whoever created this, right? The director, the editors, all the illustrators, the individuals that put all the hard work into this wanted it to tell a story in the opening before anything else, right? So if I got anything right in any way, shape, or form, it's the illustrators. And I know I probably got a lot wrong and something right in that, right? He didn't pre-watch. He's just a wizard. Yes, I will go ahead and turn on the sound. But before I turn on the sound, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to take our first little break. We are over an hour in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take our first 2-minute bathroom break, go to the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack, guys. We'll be right back. Quick little break, and we're coming back for the rest of the episode. Hi, YouTube, and we're back. Hey, I know, took an hour for us to get through the opening. It'll probably take another hour per episode if we do a different perspective every time. It is what it is. I'm super excited to get into it. Now here comes the meat and potatoes. What is this arc going to go ahead and tell us? It just came out. I'm super curious. Where is this going to go, ladies and gentlemen? By the way, come and join us every Sunday. Will be Arcane Deep Analysis Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys have the opportunity to, come and join us every Sunday, Deep Arcane Analysis Sundays. Even Parson is here. Welcome on in, Parson. Thanks so much for the Doritos. And everybody else, let's jump right into it. Oh, wait. All right, now let's jump right into it. Here you go. Oof.
There's an ocean so dark down below the way.
Her and her mom being the only ones in color while the rest is fading away. I want to highlight this to you guys, and I want to ask you guys this. Have you guys ever lost someone in your lives where you felt as though everything else was like noise? Was like background noise, and you know, the only thing that like you really centered on was that one individual, that one person there and whatnot. I'll be honest, it's happened to me, right? Whenever it comes to grief, like even though the world is still happening, and you know, actually I lost my mom too, so yeah. When your mother passed, and it just feels as though everyone's going through everything, but for you, your world centered around this one individual. They were your pillar of support, and it can be rough, man. Losing family, losing a loved one, losing a friend. The way that they did this, the charcoal in the background versus them standing out. Wow, like I have goosebumps, and I'm swelling up with tears, man. Lost your father 5 years ago and it still hurts. I'm sorry for your loss, guys. It's yeah. I'll share this, right? And you guys were here for part of it. When I got the call that my father was in the hospital, and in case you guys don't know this, it's essentially an impending time, right? I got a call around last year that my father worked every day. It's extremely hard for us, paycheck to paycheck. Was raised in an extremely low income family, and he finally got to retire this year, right? But he was still working every single day in order to try and just make the means to be able to survive. And then I got a call randomly one day at work, and they were like, "Your dad's in the hospital, and we got some really bad news for you." And I was like, "Oh God!" Like, what a way to get some news at work, right? And I remember like everything faded out. Like I was in the midst of like doing group counseling and like everything in one, right? And I asked one of the other therapists in there, I was like, "Hey, can you take over group? Because I'm not in the right state to go out and do anything. I got to rush to the hospital," right? So I go to the hospital and I sit down, and they're like, "Hey, so, we're checking everything through. There was an accident at work, all of this stuff. And you know what? Like, your dad's going to be fine in terms of like the accident, whatnot that happened at work. Like, we're taking care of that. However, in the process, we did discover that like, your dad was getting like elephantitis where his arms are starting to swell up, or his leg is starting, like my dad's leg starts to swell up because of all the construction work that he was doing, right? And then came through and they were like, we removed a lot of the water, a lot of the swelling, a lot of everything. And it's a good thing he came to us, because he could have gotten a heart, it could have been much more severe. He could have had a heart attack and whatnot. But in the process, we discovered that he has congenital heart failure. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time that you do have with him. And they're like, we give him a certain amount of years, it's not, you can't really cure this aspect of things. And for the most part, and this is me just talking very openly, being vulnerable with you guys, it's one of those things that weighs on my mind, and I'm sure it weighs on my brothers and everyone's, like, that the time that we do have with them is limited. And there's times where scares do happen where we're like, oh my God, like, is this it, right? Is this it? And it's just one of those moments where like the world can completely fade, and yet you're still there, left with the feelings of, this was someone that pretty much worked their entire lives and isn't really getting to enjoy their retirement. And by retirement, I don't even mean like a good retirement, because unfortunately there wasn't a lot left for that. So I don't know if any of you guys can relate to something like that, but at least now you know why I can relate to Kate in this matter, or why there's that a little bit more about myself and a little bit about what's happening there. It's that empathetic drive. Had a mental health crisis with my little brother this weekend. He's still at the clinic at the moment. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Strawberry Veil. Are you okay? And is he okay? I hope that everyone's doing okay in that regard. Because my main regard with this is we connect and we heal through connection, right? I'm becoming more aware as time gets me. Yeah. Thanks so much for the follow, J Fox. I appreciate it. I can't even imagine. Wow. Wow. And Vi being the only one with color. And Vi, like, aside from the flowers and little moments here and there, everyone else is in grief, but Vi is, wow. Wow. I'm tearing up here. What the heck? Coughme, thanks so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Ooh. When the time comes, I'm going to ask this now. Will you be ready to say goodbye? Or will there, or will there be some regrets? That's the real question to ask. Not sure if I'll ever be ready. That's Raccoon. Thanks so much for the sub. We're over here just tearing up. Like, yeah, when the time comes, will you be ready to say goodbye? Will you be ready to let go, either of loved ones or of yourself in that regard? That's such a tough emotion to process through all of that on both sides. On Vi, imagine the feelings of guilt that must be coming from her, right? Knowing that her sister caused this. Imagine the aspects of guilt and emotions and influx and even self-hatred that must be coming from Vi from not being able to stop Powder or Jinx. And on the other side, imagine for Kate, right? Yes, her mom, there was issues and discussions and whatnot, but she wasn't truly she wasn't a bad person in that regard, right? Those are big shoes to fill, and there's all this regret and stuff that you wish you could have said. Wow. Wow.
Just tell me how to keep breathing while pretending I'm not drowning. I don't know.
And then her dad.
Watch the door close.
That's a heavy door, man. I'm over here. I'm crying, dude. I'm crying. What the heck? That's a heavy, like, that is such a heavy responsibility and a heavy moment that they've literally just closing it. The thud of the door just represents all the heaviness and everything that's going to come through with this. Like, that's a huge change. My God. Wow.
Cause I couldn't keep it open.
Yeah. I mean, for her, trying to prolong the moment, that's the final time that she gets to see her mom. This is why I'm tearing up, dude. It's like, that's the final time that, like, she gets to, you know, because from there on out, it's nothing but memories. Oh, the misery. Oh, the misery. Why do you do this to this Arcane? But no tear either. And she's trying to stay strong. But there's going to come a point where she just has to let it out and she can't compartmentalize it. She's too shocked to process. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, la miseria. Oh, my God.
I just wish there's the door closed again.
And she's fighting it, bro. Oh, my God. Why am I crying? What the fuck, dude? Like, the score is incredible, but that aspect where she's fighting it back, dude, there's tears. You can see it in her face where she's fighting back all these emotions, and she might just start processing. But it's the moments of silence that break us, man. The moments of silence where you're left with the one person that you can actually be vulnerable with, and you can cry, and you can just try and feel something other than the deep sadness that can come through with life's inevitability, essentially. That's where I'm assuming we'll see that come and flourish.
Cause I couldn't keep it open.
Yeah, that's... Wow. Wow.
She was a great woman, a good friend. I don't know how we'll face this crisis without her.
As much as I love the empathy that's coming from Mel, the way that this framing is putting it is as though Kate has to step up and fill in those shoes. Oh no. Kate. Individuals that go through grief, that go through a major traumatic moment like this, are at the most vulnerable point in their lives. What does that mean? Then I want you guys to think of this through a dark psychology aspect. Like, if someone really, really wants to be evil and dark, what happens when you're in these moments? They try to manipulate you. The moments where you're at your most vulnerable are the moments where individuals try to come through and manipulate you and try and put in through situations like your mom would have wanted this for you. It's like nobody knows your mom better than you do, right? But other individuals would try to jump in and will try and go ahead and push you in certain directions, or will try and push you to fill in gaps or power structures or whatever, and it can lead towards a whole different individual altogether. That's scary.
To think we nearly extended sovereignty to the creatures who did this. We're charged with imposing order. And we've been asleep at our posts. While my eyes are open, there will be no more fairy tales of peace until we scour our basement of its demons.
So kind of you to assist Councillor Sallow, Mother.
As we are at war, I thought it prudent to solicit.
And the language that they use, creatures, dehumanizing the people of the underworld, of, you know, wow, these are creatures and demons, these people that live underneath. Wow, dude. Color me shocked on this, because it's, and Umbressa literally pushing her. Kitty Katarina, thanks so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Like, and Umbressa literally pushing him, right? Beating the drums of war. This is terrifying. This is terrifying. And it's also interesting, and it's wild to see the similarities in the poetry in motion. Season 1, Piltover is this beautiful society, whatnot, but yet you're talking about this in a place that looks like it's complete rubble. In a place that anybody looking on in would have thought it was the underworld or the undercity. Wow. Wow.
Elicit the advice of such an experienced veteran.
Let us address the matter at hand. Our people are scared, suffering. They need to know their leaders have the situation under control.
Right.
An unprecedented show of force. We flood the Undercity with enforcers, armed with hex tech.
So they're going to start war again. They're going to do exactly what was happening. Wow. Wow. So you're not like, and unfortunately, humans don't, and individuals do not like to see past their own history. They're just repeating history. It doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes.
Innocents will be caught in the crossfire.
How many more counselors have to be blown to pieces before you finally wake up?
Wow.
We are under siege. What is she doing here?
Officer Kiraman witnessed the attack firsthand. She confirmed this was the act of a single deranged individual.
Jinx.
Silco is dead, the underground leaderless. If we follow your plan, we risk unifying them against us.
So what is your solution? Chastisement?
Oh.
A firm reprimand?
We use a division against them. Pin the attack on Jinx. Post a reward too substantial to ignore.
I'm sorry, Mel. I'm not comfortable trusting our fates to chance.
So here's the situation. And this is even psychologically speaking, right? If you try and pin it all on Jinx, cool, congratulations, right? You are going to make yourself an enemy number one, right? People are going to go ahead and rally against you. However, even in that same situation, how many of you guys think that there might be people in the underworld that might also be coming after Jinx because Jinx has taken over a power vacuum? Jinx has taken over a lot of what Silco was doing, and there's a power vacuum that is there, right? There's a power vacuum that is present. So Jinx might not even be safe with their own people in there. So all of a sudden, Jinx has to be very aware that there's multiple people that are going to try and come after her. And the only person that she can rely on realistically is herself. Even if she doesn't fully take over C50, by taking out Silco, in essence, you really do leave a power vacuum. And by being like, one of the most recognized individuals that causes this, people are going to come after you. Your own people might come after you in that regard. It's terrifying to be in Jinx's position, but at the same time, she can literally, like, if they present a united front against her, she can lead a united front back.
Jinx has proven elusive. Our healing can only begin once she's been brought to justice.
Wow. Wow.
Then it's settled. 2-1. We invade.
If I may, in crises such as these, it's imperative you present a unified front to the public.
Yeah.
Whatever your personal feelings.
How wise. I'll agree to endorse the invasion. But I draw the line at Hextech. We have an ethos. Such force must be a final resort.
Right, Mel.
Agreed.
Mel. Fucking queen. Guys. Her, even in the presence of all of this stuff, her coming through and still saying, hey, there is still like ethics that we have to go ahead and follow, right? Immediately getting that power back, right? And immediately saying, okay, I'll agree to this one condition, but we need to go ahead and draw this line amazing. Like right here. She's an amazing politician, and she's amazing at the way that she's able to go ahead and rein that power back in. However, for how long? And I'll even showcase this further. Okay. Jinx did this. And some of you guys may not agree with me. I'm glad she's alive. Same Floppy. I thought she was going to be a goner. I ain't even going to lie. Jinx may have done this, but there's a bigger snake in this room. Umbressa is terrifying. What is she doing in the councilman's room? Why does she get to go ahead and overhear all of this? Why does she have the ability to go ahead and make power moves now that can completely bring down Piltover? In the same way that they chastise Kate for being there, there's a much bigger fish there with an army that can come in and also cause damage, as well as who knows who else might have snuck in. I love her design. Dark skin with gold accents look good. Umbressa's scary, but it wasn't her who bombed the tower. Sure, Lop, but it is her who is pushing a lot of things in there and is getting a lot of information for free. And an information in a aspect of war, aspect of like being in a city is key. If you have that information, you can pretty much take control of everything.
Then it's settled. 2-1.
Wow. The line comeback too. Oh my God. Is everyone expressing their sincerest grief? Interesting how the dad is already going through the grief process, but she's not really. Not yet. She's tossing them aside, right? He's going, you can tell he's going through it. He's going through all the emotions. She's compartmentalizing. She's compartmentalizing hard. And in those moments, I'm scared for when she breaks, though. I'm scared. And grief process looks different for everyone, right? But usually individuals go sad. Unfortunately, some individuals do tend to go into drinking habits or other things, right? But for Kate is extremely well put together for losing her mom. She's getting all these notes, all these flowers and whatnot, and it's as though it's secondhand nature. It's as though she has to be the role of this like soldier, of this like perfect individual, of like this coldness that has to come through with it. Imagine this. Imagine getting hundreds of letters saying their condolences and genuine empathy or something for you, right? And you're just like opening them and putting them on the side, right? Because you don't want to process what's in front of you at the moment. Because you want to keep compartmentalizing. You're going through the motions because it's easier for you to go through the motions than it is for you to go ahead and break down and actually feel something. She's living for this now. Outside of she falls apart and now she has to probably feel 100%. This is powerful stuff, guys.
I had the shot.
Oof.
Your mother left this to you.
The Kiraman key. No, I'm not. I don't deserve it.
It's your legacy now, Caitlin. What is she still doing here?
Dad, that's my special friend. You gotta be okay with my special friend, Dad, okay? Keys and responsibility also being passed down. And then it's just a roommate, Dad. It's just a roommate, Dad. It's okay, you know. But no, the rate and like the weight and responsibility that is passed down through those keys, right? And through this one scene of, hey, you have to unfortunately, you have to step up. The people in the Undercity have been suffering at the hands of the council, even when he was in it. True. The people down there have nothing to lose. Them choosing to be ignorant for so long caused this. As much as we glorify Heimerdinger, he stopped checking in on the people of the Undercity. Let's be real. Let's be absolutely real about it. Heimerdinger, if he was more connected to the people of the Undercity, could have prevented a lot of this stuff. But unfortunately, he stopped checking in and he stopped being... Yes, is he empathetic? We can talk about that, right? But unfortunately, we get so caught up in our own little things that we stop checking on the outside world. And when that happens, danger presents itself, I think. And in a scene like this, wow. Dad, you don't understand, right? Vi is she's a roommate, you know. She's helping me go through this process together. Dad, please, you don't understand. Oh no.
Hey.
I told you all. Oh. Oh. I told you guys. I told you guys. She was waiting for the person that would allow her to be vulnerable. I told you guys. And they're roommates. I told you guys they were waiting for the person to be vulnerable that allows them the opportunity to be vulnerable, have the ability to break down, to have the ability to showcase what that is, what that is, you know, what, and even past that, like, how many, okay, I'm going to ask this to everyone out there. How many of you guys genuinely feel comfortable crying in public, crying in front of other individuals, family members, and so on and so forth? A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. A lot of people treat crying and emotional responses as though that's something that they have to do alone, in bed, close the door, don't tear up, you don't show any emotions until you're by yourself. But is that healthy? And that's the question I ask for you guys, right? Because sociologically, there's a different answer. Psychologically, there's a different answer, right? Everyone will always promote, right? Is it healthy to show, like, you know, to cry like this? And I will always say, if you feel an emotion, express your emotions, right? Express your emotions however you see it. If you have a safe space or a person that you feel you can connect with to go ahead and tear up and do what you need to do, then do that, right? I have to very much be alone. And some of us do. And some of us do. But if you guys are going through this, right, you guys don't have to be alone. Like, you guys, if you guys are going through a rough time at the moment, just know you don't have to be alone. This is what this community is about, right? We're not a replacement for therapy or your psychologist or mental health experts that you have in your community. It's a support network that's here to go ahead and lend an ear for one another when times get tough. In case you guys ever need someone to connect to and talk to about the shows and anime and video games that we love on a deeper level, you know? My God. My God. This show's breaking me. Do it. Kiss. No! No! I get it, but no!
I can make this right. If you get Jace to fix the gauntlets, I can do this myself. No one else needs to get hurt.
But that's not gonna bring back her mom. That's not gonna bring back her mom. Vi. I get the feeling of responsibility that you're feeling through that at the moment. The guilt, everything that's coming through with it, right? However, this is the point in time where you jump in and you say, hey, you know what? I'm sorry for your loss. You empathize with the person first. And then afterwards, some time has passed. Hey, we can do this, right? Ooh. All right, chat, poll time. If you were in Vi's shoes, would you choose Kate or Jinx? Who would you prioritize in this instance? Would you prioritize your sister, your sibling, or your roommate? Genuine question. And I think this is a tough call. I think this is an extremely tough call to be in, right? Who would you want to go ahead and prioritize and care for and actually be there for and empathize with or trying, heal or whatever you want to go ahead and put it. Mods, throw up the poll, please. Your sister or your roommate? Ladies and gentlemen, the poll is now live. Make sure to go ahead and vote. It's a tough one, and I think being in Vi's shoes is extremely tough. I think that this is not an easy decision for anyone. And even further than that, this relationship is bound to go sour. There's a grief moment in it. There's an aspect of vulnerability, but there's also aspects of toxicity that's bound to brew. Because Vi, your family caused this to me. Your family did this to me, and it's gonna come like a gut punch, like a reality when this relationship starts to dissolve.
No. No more rogue mission. No more reckless plans. My mother was right. My arrogance led me to take on more than I could handle, and she paid the price.
Right.
They're sending all the enforcers after Jinx. I'm going with them.
Bro!
Please, I have to help.
You can. As one of us.
Kate, I can't.
People are calling for blood. The council won't stop them. You can show they're not all of Zorn supports Jinx. We can show them.
You're literally saying, hey, the enforcers that have gone after your family and have caused you so much trauma in the Undercity and Zon, so much trauma. Why don't you go ahead and come and join us now? Don't think Ed was going. I don't think it was going to go in that direction. But I get where she's coming from. From Kate, this might be like a move to try and feel that confidence and establish that aspect of a secure attachment, right? By you joining, we can be together. There's that area of confidence. It's the area of togetherness. It's the area of propinquity, right? There's more that we stay together, the more that we're allowed to go ahead and build our closeness, our attachment, and build in together to keep going forward. But that's a huge request. That's a huge request. Imagine being traumatized by the cops so much that all of a sudden a detective comes through and is like, I want you to be a cop and go against your own people. Bro, that would kill me. Like, you'd probably be called a traitor. People would look at you and it's like, you never represented us. Like, how dare you forget where you came from? There's all of this like double attack that's going to happen to Vi in this regard. Wow.
Together.
I watched them kill my parents. Do you have any idea how that feels?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, she does. No, why? Why'd you gotta ask that? Oh no, I get
I
it.
thought you were on our side.
You didn't think at all.
All right, let's stop right there. It's an excellent point to go ahead and pause and just talk a little bit. What a beautiful sequence. What a beautiful sequence that is being showcased through this, right? Let me pull this up. Sometimes when we're in the process of grief, we don't make the greatest decisions. This is the grief wheel. It's one of the most common wheels that any therapist, any psychologist should look at if you're going through any aspect of grief, right? And I want you guys to go ahead and pay attention to this, right? There's shock, protest, disorganization, reorganization. You either deteriorate and go back through the wheel, or you start the process of recovery. Where are they? Where are they right now, ladies and gentlemen? And that's a question I'm going to throw out there for you guys. And I want you guys to start thinking about, because again, this is a psychoeducational stream, right? This is the main regard of any and all streams that we do, is to try and psychoeducate and talk about the psychology behind it. In the process of all of this, right, a big portion of everything that we do is we deteriorate first, right? We start crying, the loss of appetite, so on and so forth. But for some of us, it's that protest. It's that anger. It's that yearning that leads into the disorganization, being confused, being having apathy, feeling like this is not real, this is not really happening, turning that anger into something else. What's scary is when you reorganize. Do you reorganize for good behaviors or are you going to start reorganizing for negative behaviors? I'm terrified of where this is going to go. And the key reason is because right now we're seeing Kate the soldier come through, and that being the persona that she keeps going, like, she keeps putting on, like, she keeps putting on the mask, like, I'm Ed the Raptor, you know, I'm Bread, right? Instead of actually being the person that's underneath the mask, because it's easier for her to go ahead and be that individual, right? Be the soldier than it is to be vulnerable. Hence why she could only cry for a little bit before she had to take that step back, gather herself again, and keep going forward. The mask of the soldier is something that she finds more comfort in than the mask of vulnerability with Vi. Throwing that out there. Oof. I know, it's great. It's wild. It's absolutely wild. All right, let's continue. Yeah, that's a dark choice. And this is what I'm scared of, is we're seeing these bottles, the drinking habits, stuff like this that might come through, is one of the few things, one of the instances that might actually affect a character and might affect an individual going forward. So I'm going to ask this. In Arcane, what's your favorite character in the series or in League? I guess Arcane. Let's stick with Arcane. What's your favorite character and why? Right? What is your favorite character and why? Like, what about that character draws you to them, right? And speaks about them for you? Jinx, Victor, Silco, Kate and Victor, Silco. Why? Like, why do you like these characters? And what reasons do they speak out to you? It's a beautiful moment. Hold on. I'm also trying to bring this out. Here we go. This is what I was trying to bring out. So what is happening as you guys are answering to Vi as well? Guess what? That love and belonging aspect. Yes, she did lose family, right? Her roommate is a little shaky at the moment. She's going back down from building up, right, a little bit to having a little bit of an esteem, to having a little bit of that confidence and that, you know, respect of Kate and so on and so forth. She's on a shaky road. And if she's to break, is she bound to be an enemy? And is Jinx bound to go ahead and highlight herself, not necessarily as an enemy for society, but more so as an anti-hero in general? Jinx is a tragic character. She is. She really, really is. All right, let's continue. I know, guys.
Hey, watch it.
Sorry.
Not my first.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
You all right?
Caitlin, because I don't know, honestly. Sure, Brookie. Big lad.
You, lose someone in the attack?
Ooh. Seems like my guy is going through stuff, man. Yeah, huh?
How is he?
Same as before. Breathing. Pulse is consistent. Beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Oh, you know, we didn't just put him in a Bacta chamber. You know, it's not like we just went ahead and, you know, stuffed him up and made him look like... Oh, dude, that's a heck of a position to be stuck in. That's wild. Victor going Han Solo in there. Right. Magic living glue. Ads are only 30 seconds. Yeah, guys, I lowered the ads to only 30 seconds. I tried to eliminate them altogether for this stream, or just in general for the past couple of streams, because I don't really like ads. But, you know, I believe that you guys should get the best streaming experience. But when it comes to something like this, okay, but what is that made out of, right? Because then I'm going to come to question, like, hex properties. And how important is Hex to the game, to League of Legends? Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to play League. I downloaded League, but I didn't get the opportunity to play it just because I've been so busy with all the work changes and all of that. But I really want to play League, and I really want someone to teach me how to play League. So if you're out there and you know how to play League, please let me know. Please teach me. I am definitely trying to go out and get into it. I know it's nothing to do with similarities of Arcane, has some elements and stories wise, but like I would love to go ahead and learn how to go out and play it. Anyway. Oh. Ooh.
What's it doing to him?
It's making him better.
The hex core's been evolving.
You can check the
shifting
without
through
playing
runic
its arm.
patterns faster than I can keep up. All I know for certain is that it's keeping him alive.
Oh my
It's the sort of
god.
puzzle Victor would love if he wasn't.
Read the lore, don't play.
It should be me up there.
All right, let me know when the ads are done. That's a lot of guilt. That's a lot of guilt for you to go and do. But Jace, you did the best that you could in that scenario. And I think a majority of us, I would have actually voted to try and save our friend, regardless of the outcome that might come through it. Might he still be your friend afterwards? I don't know, right? But in that state where he's at, can that be an issue, right? Can that be a major issue? Absolutely.
Instead of him.
You're playing League right now? Hell yeah.
Don't say that. He'll come back to us.
I still don't understand. He was right next to me. How does the explosion do that to him? And I just walk out without a scratch.
There's no sense to these things, Jace.
Oh.
How'd it go with the council?
Oh.
My mother's entered the game.
Yeah, your mother entered the game.
She's already gotten her hooks into Sallow, using his grief to make a play for Hextech.
Let me pause right there. There's a serious moment to go ahead and talk about. And there's also a moment I got to talk about. Ambressa. Mods. Poll time. Wood? That's my question for you guys. Mommy, mods, throw up the poll. I'm curious now. Would you date her? Ambessa, would you? Would actually my body, her choice? Oh God, like that. I keep saying it with an R. I know. All right, poll time going up. Ambessa, I like how they put the R in there. You see? Yes or no, chat. Your vote matters in this. Oh, but also one of the key elements through this is Jace not being active in the council, not actively being involved or overseeing it. Mel's mom is doing all of these moves. And Bessa's actually taking up a lot of space in this. It's allowing for opportunities of weakness within Piltover. Jace, you got to be careful. You either got to prioritize your friend or the city. And in that essence, what do? Right? A lot of people saying no. You wouldn't want Ambessa. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's wild, guys.
Mel, I promised Victor. Never again.
It's all right. I handled it. I won't let them corrupt your dream.
Oh.
Caitlin was there. You might pay her a visit. She hides it admirably, but the poor girl's in so much pain.
Oh. Wait a minute. Oh no, Dark Kate. Oh, I thought we were getting a full-on transformation. Oh, we are. Oh no, what the fuck? Ah. Take the shot, Kate. Take the shot, Kate. Kate, take the shot. Coughme, thanks so much for the 10 gifted subs, bro. It's her descent into darkness as well. Oh, 2K viewers. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome on in, everyone. Appreciate you guys being here. In case you guys don't know, hi, my name is Ed, Psychologist. We tend to go and psychoanalyze anime, video games, everything in between. Deep dive. Deep dive. We pause a lot, as you can already tell. That's a deep, dark descent into an individual, right? The cognitive distortions start coming in. All of a sudden, it starts coming into, if only I took the shot, if only I was there. And guess what? If you don't stop a person from spiraling like that, you're going to get a darker version of them. That's terrifying. With every semblance out there, that is absolutely terrifying. See, if you guys have ever encountered a friend, I know I yap a lot. If you guys ever encounter a friend or someone you love that starts to spiral like this, please contact the mental health provider in your area, or please help them contact the mental health provider in your area, because spiraling like this, they can become a danger to self or a danger to others. Wow. Wow.
How'd you find me?
Your dad.
How'd you
Mother and
find
I
me,
used to
your
come
dad?
here when we needed an escape. One of the few places we never argued.
Oh.
I'm sorry I haven't been around.
How's Victor?
I can't even tell if he's still in there.
Ever since it happened, 3 faces keep spinning through my mind. I see Mother when they found her, and every fiber of me just sinks like a stone swallowed in dark water. But then there's Jinx, laughing. I want to tear that laugh from her throat forever.
Kate.
I know. I just understand now how easy it is to hate them. One vicious act. Then I see Vi. I asked her to put on a uniform. Suffice to say, she declined.
Fine. Wear a badge.
She thinks those gauntlets of yours will solve all her problems.
What if she's right?
Hextech may keep us alive, Jace, but it's not what will save us.
But for how long, Kate? I feel like as though your perspective is definitely being shifted by the trauma that you've encountered, because it is trauma, Kate. You've encountered some serious trauma, not just with Jinx, the death of your mother, and also what's happening currently with your partner, with your roommate, my bad. With your roommate. You're going through it at the moment. Is your perspective the most clear perspective to be able to take in? Kate, you need a grief counselor. You really do need a mental health specialist to help you go through with it. She's underlying the problems that won't be solved with weapons. They won't. But what is she trying to do but take that shot? She's trying to take that shot. And that's the main element. I don't know. Wait, why was follower only mode? Oh, yo, thanks so much for the subs. RDL, 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it, you go. You guys are amazing. Coughme, thanks so much for the 10 gifted subs as well. Wow, you guys are incredible. What the heck? Appreciate it. Here's some hearts, guys. You guys are amazing. That's the main regard. Whenever we're looking at a show like this, we also have to take into consideration, if you were in Kate's shoes, would you be as strong as she is right now? I wouldn't. I would not. I wouldn't ever even be as close. And that's just me being straight up with you. Crate decided to remove it for a while. Oh, okay. Sure. I wouldn't, right? I would try. That makes sense, Coughme. She doesn't say the opposite of what you're saying, though. She said it will keep us alive but won't save us. Yeah.
Me. Joined the Peanut Patrol. And I thought she had no sense of humor. Her dad's right. There's no point in sticking around up here. Except, I'm the one who created the monster.
Vi?
Oh, no.
Who are you?
How do you know my name? Junior Officer Nolan. Maddie.
My weakness has arrived. My weakness has arrived. Yeah. Okay, chat, we riot if something happens to Maddie. Both. Gingers and Scottish. We riot if something happens to Maddie, chat. And your weakness arrives like every other scene. True. True. But in this scenario, my God. My God.
And, it's written on your face.
So what is it? Random search? Escort off the property? Or are you just here to waste my time?
Search? No. No. You're something of a legend amongst the enforcers. Caitlin made quite a scene at the station when they tried to deny your enlistment. I have to ask, is it all true? You went after Silco alone when the council wouldn't back you. Took on his whole gang.
Kate said all that?
She said, if every enforcer had a heart
Oh.
like yours, we could take on Noxus itself.
Oh.
Then she threatened to withdraw her family's funding.
Politics. That's so fucking great. Kate just being like, she's amazing. And if you don't do it, I'm just going to go ahead and withdraw everything. Good luck. Good luck funding yourselves going through this, right? Kate is just Bruce Wayne. It's adorable that she's willing to go this far for her, but at the same time, and I get it, right? It can be seen as a good gesture, as a nice gesture, so on and so forth. Maybe Kate thinking that she's automatically a part of it, but doesn't that mean, like, you know, that Vi would be, or Vi would be automatically a part of it? Wouldn't that just mean as well that she's making a lot of assumptions when doing this, right? In terms of jumping in, trying to get all these requisitions, all of this stuff up and going for Vi, there's a lot of assumptions that are being made, right? Maddie does change Vi's perspective, though. Yeah, of Kate, of what she's doing in that aspect. It's adorable.
Anyhow, I'm glad you're joining up. After the sheriff betrayed us, well, let's just say, it's nice to know there are still good ones left.
Oh. Assassin's Creed?
Officer Nolan.
Duty calls. A real honor, Vi.
Oh. Poor guy. I feel like he's me. Can't ever get true sleep because of like random things happening. Don't forget you're drunk, right? Oh, my heart. Yo, Hype Train. Thanks a bunch, guys. You guys are incredible. Oh, no. You mean that you're just gonna shroud us in mystery here? Wait a minute.
One of the many privileges of serving as your counselor is having the occasion now and again to stand behind this podium, to behold so many joined together not by birth or dictum, but by all that we share. Our hope, our curiosity, our curiosity.
Maybe he was caught up in the explosion or something. This guy has a tattoo. Yeah. Multiple tattoos from the looks of it. Doesn't necessarily look as clean as the other enforcers that we've seen. It's a little sus, is all I gotta say. It's a little sus. Sorry, it caught my eye immediately that now I'm a concerned citizen in the middle of everything. God forbid that men have tattoos. Shake my head. Oh no.
Our compulsion to leave behind us a world better than that before. These things we share are what make us one people. Today, we share an
Was my
unthinkable
suspicion right?
Councillor Irius Borbeck,
Oh.
Councillor Tormin Hoskell, and Councillor Cassandra Kiraman were taken from us. But they shall not be forgotten. We commissioned this statue so we may remember them for their countless contributions,
Yo, 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 yo.
their lifetimes of service. Not the crazy.
Yo, yo, yo. Yo! Oh no! Oh no!
And they will account for their crimes.
Awful, isn't it? Losing a loved one.
Dude, no, don't you dare! Don't you dare! Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Hold on! Hold on! Oh, oh. Oh. The absolute wow! Buttertrot, God, thank you so much. We're about to back it up and go through the scene again in just a little bit. But the aspect of them planning everything out, no one really being suspicious, everyone just taking it for granted. They were hit once before. Their guard should have been up all the way towards 1,000, but it's not. Hence why this thing will happen again. If they're not prepared, they're bound to go through circular aspects of trauma of 1,001 things because they're not preparing themselves for this, right? They're not actively seeking out individuals. And I get it, fight or flight is activated throughout the entire thing. So they might overlook small details, but it's still small details that count. They're crashing the wedding here. My God, we're gonna back it up just a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick be right back. A quick be right back. Go to the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack. We'll be right back, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, welcome on back. Come on, I wanna show you guys this doggo. Hi. Come on, Loki, you can get closer. Oh. He's like, nope, I will not get closer. He's like, I will not get closer. Hi, you wanna say hi to them? He's like, hi. I know, he's here. Hi, you okay? Okay, thank you. What a handsome young dog. What a handsome doggo. I know, right? What the dog doing? I don't know, the dog's doing a lot, but I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are practicing that self-care. Guys, as we're going through this, please remember to go ahead and follow. Follow if you have Prime. Feel free to go ahead and sub if you guys like the content. If you guys like some of the deeper analysis that we're going into and that we're doing at the moment. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far, because for me, I'm absolutely loving this, right? This is one of the aspects that we can touch on and we can go into like 1,001% with this, right? How the dog doing? The dog doing good. Dog doing great, right? Let me see if I can bring this up. I have a couple things to bring up. But with that being said, why don't we go back into it? We witnessed the hype moments of this and we keep going from there. What do you guys think? Yeah? Yeah, drop a Prime to fund his toys because he goes through them like no tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You ready? Set? Let's go. Let's go. It's a nice breed. Yeah, he's a good boy. Good boyo. Oof. 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 God, dude. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers.
None of you are safe.
Is she a character from... Okay, is she a character in League or no? I know that plot armor is real. No, she isn't. No? The chaos and everything that's coming through, yeah. Woo! What? Ah! Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, God. Oh! Reminds me of the parasite unit from Metal Gear. Oh, good clap back. This is episode 1, by the way. So think about what this does, right? They were already solidifying a plan to go into Zon, right? They're already solidifying a plan to go in there and like enforce and do all 1001 things. What does this do? Chat. Genuine question. If you were a decision maker in this and you just found out that they attacked your rally again, what would that do for you? All of a sudden, I'm like, yo, we're about to break some Geneva Convention stuff. We're about to go to give them more reason from the public's view. Absolutely. It's like all of a sudden you're justifying yourself, right? And this happens a lot with your own decisions as to why you should go ahead and go even further than, yeah, you'll escalate it. No, Maddie! Oh, okay, I hope you're safe. Woo! Woo! Geneva to yeah, absolutely. Oh! I love the fight scenes, though. I love how you... Oh! That's my roommate. I love how you can feel the weight of their actions and how well developed they are. They thought of the characters, right? So that their first action isn't necessarily like to go, for example, Kate is punch kick, not an expert in that necessarily, right? But definitely to use her gun as opposed to Vi, right? That's incredible. That is absolutely brilliant. Probably one of the best ways to go ahead and showcase that a character's gonna use what they use, right? Like, whew. Whew. But these guys are creepy, my God.
Get the counselors out of here. I have an idea.
What are you doing?
Horror logic becomes horror logic. Ugh. It's hammer time. Let's go. No, no, no. Please, no, not Maddie. We were just introduced to her. Brother. Oh. Oh. Seeing the level of anxiety of everything that's happening here, incredible. Absolutely incredible, right? Yes, Jace just did get like chainsawed a little bit, right? Is really some area where you do not want some deep cuts. More cowbell, please. But from that, right? Absolutely. The level of importance throughout this entirety is just going to justify what's to come next. And I'm scared because what is to come next? What is to come next? This is the first episode. Don't you dare. Don't you dare hurt her. Okay, good. Woo. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. Right. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. Okay, good. They didn't. I was about to say, no way are we gonna lose Jace this quickly. Woo! Imagine he just dies there, bro. For real. Alright, this is fucking hype. This is hype. Apologies. Oh. Woo! What? 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 Nah, y'all are, nah. Wait a minute. No. So you're telling me they took them down so easily. Noxians to the rescue here. How powerful are Noxians actually? Like, how powerful are Noxians? First and foremost. Second off, couldn't that mean that they could just take over Piltover at any moment that they'd really want? Very. Very. That's not mom. That's not mom. That right there is the leader, right? That right there is, wow. That difference, right, between the Noxians and the individuals in Piltover, huge. Yes, Hextech can definitely help, but now imagine the Noxians having Hextech. If the Noxians have Hextech, it might be game over for a lot of people. If the Noxians get their hands on Hextech, it might be game over for a lot of people. That's war, mom. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's the matriarch. Like, there's one aspect. There's a couple aspects that come to mind, right? You don't know war, Jace, but mommy certainly does. There's a couple key things that come to mind in this scenario. Number one, how much of the influence is Anoxians going to have in society going forward? Number two, from this, right? Was this from Zahn specific, or is there more? Are there other individuals or splinter groups forming, like say like shadow groups, shadow organizations forming in the Undercity, trying to go ahead and exact their own form of revenge and trying to go ahead and fill that void that Silco left behind? There's a lot of, oh, this is deep. This is deeper than deep. I need Harold to be the last man standing. Wow.
Perimeter secured.
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh. Oh. When the roommate comes over.
You're gonna get yourself killed.
A memorial? What kind of animals?
They wanted the spectacle.
Oh no. Kate. Are we about to get dark, Kate? Oh no. Oh no. She's already using the language, right? Oh, the people from the Undercity are now going to be animals. She's dehumanizing them so that it can be easier. If they're animals, then is Vi going to be an animal? Thanks so much for the follow, Buttertron and Grisen. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't see it earlier. Thanks so much for the follows. I appreciate it.
All right, they're trying to scare you.
You guys are amazing.
All
Thank you
they
so much.
did is pissed me off.
You need to find a way to call off the invasion.
What?
This battle was on your soil. Down there, you'll be on their terms.
None of this is on our terms.
Maybe you should change that.
Well, I don't know how, okay? She dies and leaves this giant hole, and I'm just supposed to fill it. Like she was never there to begin with.
Hey, you won't. The hole gets smaller, but you never fill it.
And it's true. Sometimes power vacuums, right? And when people leave our lives, they leave an area, right, of expectations, of literal like standards and whatnot that become almost impossible for us to fill in, right? People say, well, you can fill in the person's shoes. Is that realistic though? Probably not. How many of you can say successfully that you filled in someone else's shoes to a T? You probably won't. You're probably going to have to go ahead and remake new shoes, have new shoes, remake whatever society might seem of it. And it's hard. It's hard. That's tough. Oh.
I was wrong to spring the badge on you. It's just every way I slice it. If I go after your sister alone, one of us comes back in a box.
Oh.
It's all coming apart.
No, it isn't. We won't let it.
Oh. I think you guys are absolutely right. Vi did realize that it was essentially Kate trying to get her to come to her side. I don't know if you guys would agree with me on this, and you guys can. Feel free to disagree as well. But for me, I think her fighting and trying to get all of this stuff is so that she's not alone. Is that so she doesn't have to be alone, right? Because they need one another at this point in time. But till what point? Till what point? Let's say that Vi were to step in and help Jinx or stop her from taking another shot. If Vi were to step in and stop Kate from taking another shot, what would happen? would Kate still respect Vi? Or would that put turmoil on their relationship? I'm so curious about this, right? Like, yes, Vi is saying one thing about, like, you know what, like, we need to go ahead and do whatever. But what would happen in a scenario like this? Where, say, history repeats itself, or it's rhyming. And you have Kate looking down the scope of a barrel, ready to take the shot. Will Vi step in, or will she let her take it? Oof.
I know you don't.
Hey, yo! She looked great when she was younger.
There's wisdom in that. But remember, you're a Kiraman.
This is what you asked for. Heavy is the crown. Fire in the sunrise. Ashes rain down. Try to hold it in, but it keeps bleeding out. This is what you asked for. Heavy is love. Heavy is.
Are they gonna gas them out? That's like gas mask and stuff. Are they about to Geneva Convention? Are they about to Geneva Convention the people living in the Undercity? What the heck? Wait a minute. Your mom may have not have been as great. Oh. You tell me. I don't know, bro. It's as though they're being
Never in our
considered.
lifetimes.
Queen, thanks so much for the
Piltover's
follow.
leadership enforced into the dungeons of our capital. But here we are. Does anyone still doubt that our enemy is greater than one deranged individual?
How did they sneak so many of these things into the ceremony? I thought we
This is powerful. This is powerful.
took every measure to secure it.
They must have had help from someone up here.
We can't afford any more hand-wringing. If we do not defend ourselves with Hextech, our principles will mean nothing.
Wow.
We aren't prepared for a full-scale.
This is powerful. They're no longer planning from up top. They're no longer in that position of power to be holding these meetings up top in that position where they were at, thematically speaking. Now they're down below. And now they're planning down below. It shows you that ethically and morally, they're not going to be held to the same power structure that they were held when they were up here. Dude, I got goosebumps. I literally have goosebumps right now thinking about the symbolism behind the way that they're holding this meeting, right? They're no longer public, right? They're no longer up top in that area of like pedestal where they were holding everything the way it was. No, now they're down below. Wow. Wow.
Invasion. The Undercity's attack proved that.
This is a closed council meeting. Who let you in here?
I am a decorated officer, leader of House Kiraman. Address me with respect, or keep your mouth shut.
Oh, wait a minute.
I will lead a strike team into Zorn with 3 objectives.
What have we
Locate
created?
Jinx, dismantle Shimmer, and neutralize any agents still loyal to Silco.
What have we created?
What makes you think you'll fare any better than our forces today?
What have we
We've got
created?
a few surprises of our own.
God, I love Kate. What have we created? Oh no! Yes, but no! Oh no! We're so back! But are we? What have we created? Heavy is the crown. Oh my god. Okay. So, her coming in through, right? Is Kate dead? Is this a new version of Kate, right? So much for following your principles, Chase. Oh, 100%. Also, almost 2.2 people. Oh, shit. Hype. Let's go. Hype train. What have we created? This is hype. It's wild. Her coming in here. I'm a decorated officer and you will address me as such. Kate having that confidence. Hey, Kate coming in through with all of that aspects and expectations. And like, you know what? I am of the House of Karaman. You will address me as such. We will take care of this. Wow. This is a monster that we were creating. And I'm not sure I'm ready for it. I'm not sure I'm ready. There are no principles in wars. Jinx must bleed. Dang, Flex. Dang. Coming in here. Oh, I do think that Jace gave them the weapons because of his chat with Kate. Hextech isn't the solution, but it'll keep us alive. I agree with you on that. I do think that he's probably seeing it that way. All right. Mods, final poll time. Everyone, if you're lurking, vote on this one. Are you on Team Piltover or are you on Team Jinx? Or the team's on, right? What team are you on? Are you on, do you agree? There's one or the other. You cannot choose either. It's like the trolley problem. Are you on Team Piltover or are you on Team Zon in this, ladies and gentlemen? Bruh, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, I am on Team Victor Jace. Team Victor Jace is a good team to be on. I ain't even gonna lie. Team Victor Jace is a good Team Nox. My dude coming in here, Team Noxus. That's a... Ladies and gentlemen, at the moment, it is 29 to 71%. Team Zon taking a huge W in this. Team Noxus, ooh. This is wild. Man of progress, but yet being delayed. Ooh. No, that can't be it. No. Yes? Okay, good. Yes. Oh, I got fucking scared. I got scared for a second there. Oh my God. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely beautiful, right? But what does that mean? If Victor's out of play for now, when he does come back into play, and as we've seen in the opening, wearing that mask, is that the mask of humanity or is that the mask of what's to come, right? So many questions that will come through. We eating good today. Oh, we're eating really good. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What? No! No! It can't end there. No! Just we got a flashback and like, oh. Singed in his own side quest. For real, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely incredible episode. Absolutely wonderful way of bringing us back in. And not even just like a starting off episode. It just brought us in and it automatically shot us up into high drama, right? And it's like, okay, well, you didn't watch season 1. That's on you. We're going to keep going on with the story, and I love that. I love the fact that they're like, hey, we're just going to go ahead and continue. And there was no Jinx, like no actual Jinx perspective in this first episode. That's incredible. That's absolutely wild. That's brilliant beyond belief in the way that they've done this. Personally, for me, what would you guys rate this episode out of 10? I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to rate this a solid 10 out of 10. I'm going to rate this a solid 10 out of 10. Some of you guys might disagree with me, but the way that they captured it in, they brought us into grief and trauma and the perspectives of pain that you can feel along with the characters, right? You can literally feel a lot of like the pain the Kate is going through, the anxiety, the like moments of tension. Like it brought us in and it hit, right? That's what made it so good. Team Zon wins with 68% of the vote. 9.5 no Savika. Absolutely incredible for me personally. I thought that it was an incredible episode. Incredible way of going ahead and dissecting in all the different characters and their tension points and how we're starting to go ahead and see that ecologically speaking, it's impacting the world out as much as it's coming back in. But when it snaps back in, what's going to be left over, right? What is going to be left over, ladies and gentlemen? All right. There's nothing else left there. Good. ladies and gentlemen, we are over 3 hours in to this stream. Over 2 hours and 40 something minutes for the episode analysis. Phenomenal episode, absolutely brilliant episode. I really loved everything that we were able to touch on that. With that being said, here's the poll. Ladies and gentlemen, do we continue on to episode 2? What do you guys think? Do we go on to episode 2? Lurkers, chat, this is your opportunity to go ahead and vote. Do we go on to episode 2? What do you guys think? This is really, really fun, dude. 3 hours in, 1 episode. We're knocking this stuff out. Yes, do the poll. Do the poll, guys. Quick poll time. Do we move on to episode 2, knock it out, and psychoanalyze further? Because I'm all hyped, bro. Llama Boss, Yama Boss, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Our two halves of the same coin, are they? Dang. All right, guys, make sure you guys vote. Do you guys think that we should take a break right now? A quick little break, and that way we prepare ourselves for what's to come. YouTube, hey, appreciate you guys stopping on by. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the analysis, the episode, the opening analysis, so on and so forth. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, that horror deal, and share it. If you guys like it, if you guys have seen season 1 analysis that we've done, the 6-hour episode 1 analysis, please feel free to go ahead and share it around. Help us grow. This is a community where this is what we love to do. So help us grow. Hit that like, follow if you guys can, so on and so forth. And especially as we continue on, that would mean the world. Thank you, YouTube. Practice some self-care, YouTube.